verify. IEBC opens 30 days window for individuals to confirm voter registration detail. Closing on Sunday. IEBC extends deadline for parties to submit candidates list to May the 14th. Hundreds of families displaced as floods rain havoc across the country. And nurses join doctors in public hospitals in strike over unpaid salaries and allowances. All right, welcome to the broadcast. Now, our sign language interpreter, George Wambu. Voters will from tomorrow start verifying their registration details. IEBC, however, says voters must present themselves in person at the stations where they registered. Aspirants will also start presenting their nomination papers for clearance on 28th May, as Sam Gituku now reports.
In a month's time, the electoral body is mandated to begin a process of preparing the final register to be used in the August polls. And for that to happen, over 19 million Kenyans are required to verify their registration details with the IEBC through the Kenya Integrated Election Management System. Voters required to present themselves with a document they use to register as voters, either their identity card or passport.
A particular polling station.
If satisfied, they will then sign the register by confirming their biometric data using any of their fingers. Any changes desired will have to be documented for later alterations.
This process is only for those Kenyans that registered to vote. There's no window to register as a new voter until after the general election is over.
If a registered voter does not verify their details in the next 30 days, they may have to deal with the consequences of any inconsistencies.
Unlike other jurisdictions, unfortunately, this particular law does not make it compulsory. It is not like the Nigeria case whereby if you do not check your biometrics, then you're not allowed to vote.
Before the election period, we shall put SMS in place and other forms of online confirmation. But that's not being done right now. It will come in later on.
The verification process will be carried out concurrently with the voters' register audit process by audit firm KPMG, who are expected to recommend removal of inconsistent details and those of deceased voters. Meanwhile, 22 presidential aspirants will be required to file 1 million signatures of their supporters between the 18th and 22nd of this month. Successful aspirants will then file their nomination papers with IEBC at the KICC on the 28th and 29th of May. Other candidates for the other 5 positions will present their nomination papers to different returning officers at constituency and county levels between 28th of May and 2nd of June. And so in a month's time, Kenyans will begin to understand how many of them are eligible to participate in the August polls, a crucial step in ensuring a credible exercise devoid of ghost voters as well as voter register manipulation. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Sam. Now, political parties have until Sunday to submit their list of candidates for various positions to the Electoral Commission. IEBC says it has extended the deadline that was initially set for today to allow the political parties' dispute tribunal time to dispense with cases stemming from nominations. Samogina reports.
The Electoral Commission says 210 cases are still pending at the political parties' dispute resolution tribunal. For this reason, IEBC says it has been forced to extend today's deadline for submission of party nomination lists to Sunday. The extension announced hours after the IEBC had insisted today's deadline remains.
We expect political parties which are ready to submit all their details to us by today.
But the ping-pong being witnessed as losers and winners exhaust all possible avenues to secure coveted seats has forced a rethink of the Commission's position. Today, for instance, the court reinstated Joshua Irungu's victory against former Assistant Minister Nderitu Mureithi. Nyatike MP Idi Kanyanga found himself in a fix, despite the Disputes Tribunal overturning ODM's decision to award his competitor Frederick Ogenga. He was unable to serve ODM with the decision as Orange House was deserted.
It is not fair for the NEB to be hiding. If you come to the station here, the headquarters, they are nowhere.
Likewise, Wundanyi parliamentarian Thomas Modego, whose victory in Taita Taveta County was annulled, claims there was a plot to award Taita Taveta Governor Philip Murutu with the party certificate despite Murutu having been defeated in the primaries.
However, what is so frustrating and annoying, having resigned from the party, this morning he was trying frantically to withdraw the letter and say he wants to be reinstated back as a party member.
The tribunal has also revoked the direct nomination handed to Migori ODM Senate aspirant Ben Oluoch. The tribunal also ordering Jubilee to repeat nominations in Narok North constituency for parliamentary seat within 48 hours. Jubilee was also ordered to hand Embakasi North parliamentary aspirant James Mwangi Gakuya a nomination certificates. Kisumu Central MP Ken Obura is also breathing easy after the tribunal reversed Fred Ouda's victory. Sam Ogina for JKL.
Thank you, Sam. Now, the Jubilee Party has deferred issuance of nomination certificates to counties a day to the end of the expected exercise, which is yet to commence. The Jubilee Party will now have its National Elections Board decentralize the exercise from its headquarters, as Jackie Maribe now reports.
An open invitation to all winners of Jubilee Party primaries made at the Bomas of Kenya during the party's NDC. Secretary General Raphael Tuju announcing collection schedules of nomination certificates. The Secretary General Raphael Tuju had announced that Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday would be the dates where all those who had gotten through the nomination stage would be issued with their certificates for their respective seats that they are vying for.
I want to assure you that no nomination certificates will be issued in some sugar plantation or maize plantation or bush or from somebody's bedroom. It's going to be straight, clean.
But it would appear that statement was more than the party secretariat could chew, as no aspirant is yet to receive their nomination certificates that would secure their place on the ballot for August 8th. Citizen TV has learned that the 1,900 certificates were yet to be signed until this afternoon. And now the issuance has been deferred to counties, with the National Elections Board now tasked with ensuring the decentralization of the issuance is at the aspirants' respective county level beginning tomorrow. This coinciding with what was to be the deadline for political parties to forward their aspirants list to the IEBC. Concern causing jitters to those particularly who had appeals being heard and determined by the party's tribunal. That deadline now extended to Sunday. Even then, the political parties tribunal has ordered a repeat of Jubilee's Roysambu constituency nominations.
We shall not expect anything less than very new, transparent officers to man and redo the elections.
Meanwhile, Mukurweini MP Kabando Akabando has rescinded his decision not to contest the results of the primaries in which he lost, vowing to be on the polls as an independent. The MP insisting the poll was rigged. Jackie Maribe, JKL.
Thank you, Jackie. Now, in other news, thousands of people have been displaced and transport paralyzed as floods continue to wreak havoc across the country. In Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale, houses have been submerged and roads destroyed following heavy rains. Wilkiston Nyabwa has the details.
Early morning found these residents of Kwale wading through muddy water, trying to salvage their belongings after a night of heavy rain which had resulted in flooding.
Electronics zote ni maji, viti, maji, kila kitu. Sasa najipanga kuhama kwa sababu siwezi ngoja machaka kama yakanipata tena.
Many here blaming their woes on the county's poor drainage system, seeking a solution to tide them through the rainy season. In Mombasa, commuters using the Likoni ferry services found themselves stranded in the morning after the MV Nyayo, whose use was suspended on Tuesday, stalled yet again, blocking 3 other ferries.
Ferry kukwama mara kwa mara imetuathiri kwa sababu saa zingine wataka kufika kazini, wenye wameajiriwa wanataka kufika kazini mapema. Saa zingine inabaki wamechelewa, ukichelewa uvutwa kazi.
Normal service resumed later in the morning. However, the Kenya Ferry Service has warned that Mombasa residents are likely to continue experiencing delays for 4 more days. The rains continue to wreak havoc in Madira, Nyeri County. 29 homes in Ihiga, Konyu location were destroyed, leaving hundreds of residents without a place to call home.
Na tunaomba serikali tusaidie kisababu saa hii kahawa imeboromoka yote, imepelekwa Mtotana na ng'ombe zetu, mali zetu zote zimebebwa.
100 families in the area are now reportedly in danger as the area is prone to landslides, even as members of the public urge the government to tap the water for future use in affected areas, locals appealing to the government to put in place measures to ensure their safety. Wilkes Anyabwa, JKL.
Thank you, Wilkes. Now, at the same time, the absence of doctors and nurses in several public hospitals is being felt as unattended patients wallow in pain and misery. The medics have gone on strike demanding payments of salaries and allowances withheld after another strike earlier this year. Hassan Mugambi reports.
There were more patients walking out than those walking in at the Nakuru Level 5 hospital as the effects of the latest doctors and nurses strike over unpaid allowances grows worse.
Nilikuwa nimekuja, nimeleta mtoto, kulikuwa na appointment ya kwamba ataingia theater siku ya leo. Lakini wakati nimekuja nikakuta madaktari wanasema wamegoma. Kwa hivyo hatukuweza kutibiwa.
Kwa sasa hivi wagonjwa tunapatiwa, wagonjwa bado hawajapata nafuu, madaktari wamegoma. Hata kazi yenye nafanywa pale ndani ni kazi hata mwenyewe unaona si ya kufanywa binadamu.
Doctors and nurses are demanding payment of salary for the 100 days they were on strike as agreed in the return to work formula.
Tangu akuja hakuna lolote amefanywa. Amekaa tu kwa kitanda.
Similar misery was witnessed in public hospitals in counties such as Machakos, Nyeri and Kiambu. Patients bracing themselves for the latest round of agony as more than 1,000 nurses signed up to the strike.
You find a midwife, a nurse who has done midwifery, is a nurse who helps in maternity, working alone. And in delivery, you're not supposed to be alone. There's one to receive the baby, to conduct the delivery.
And while the crisis spread, the Council of Governors is set to formally recognize the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, Friday. The recognition will give the Doctors Union representation in all 47 counties. Hassan Mugambi, Citizen TV.
Thank you, Hassan. Now, on to the Rift Valley, and residents of Muchongoi in Baringo County took to the streets to protest insecurity in the area despite a heavy police presence. Armed bandits attacked the village Sunday, driving away livestock and critically injuring a teenager. The residents are now blaming the security agencies for not doing enough to protect them from the bandits.
Muchongoi area of Baringo County. Residents up in arms. They are protesting the repeated attacks on their village by suspected Pokot bandits despite the launch of a high-voltage security operation. On Sunday, a 16-year-old boy became the latest victim of the marauding bandits while he was attacked while herding livestock in the outskirts of Muchongoi. The boy was shot on the leg before the bandits drove away 500 heads of cattle.
Mimi nikajaribu kwenda kuingia msituni. Nikapika makote na kwenda kwa chini hivi. Mpaka nikaingia msituni. Nikashika miti na nikasimama, baba yangu akaniona. Nikaambia kuja hapa.
Now helpless on his hospital bed, he, like other villagers, are calling on the government to improve security in the area.
Tulikuwa nafikiri president aliposema KDF anaenda Baringo. Tulikuwa tunafikiri naibu wa rais alipokuja hapa kila wiki almost 3 weeks kusema nimekuja kumaliza hii mambo imeisha.
We cannot continue crying every year here.
Every day.
We are Kenyans, we deserve security.
Yes.
The blame games and politics should stop from today and work must be done.
KDF wamekuja hapa kutuonesha tu ubabu wa kivita, lakini hatuoni kitu. No operation is going on. So tunataka kuuliza what is going on. Kama ni PR, tuambiwe ni PR.
The area has remained volatile despite President Uhuru Kenyatta ordering the military to Baringo, Laikipia and Elgeyo Marakwet counties to boost police efforts to contain the region. Hassan Mugambi, Citizen TV.
The finance bill that seeks to bring down the prices of basic commodities inched closer to being a reality after MPs overwhelmingly endorsed it. Legislators can propose more cost-cutting amendments in the second reading that is expected soon in the fast-track bill, as Stephen Leteau now reports.
MPs are in a rush to legislate a law that they hope will significantly bring down food prices. The proposed hurriedly sailing through the first reading.
The challenges that we are facing, including inadequate food supply.
Many as of that opinion say aye.
The proposed measures to lower food prices include zero-rating imported goods that will include maize, wheat, ordinary bread, muslin flour and fisheries. Further, the taxman will be required to widen the tax net to raise revenue but at the same time exempt low-income earners by increasing the non-taxable income from 15,360 to 16,896 shillings.
This is a matter of life and death and is an urgent issue. Once we deal with the finance bill, the supplementary budget is coming tomorrow.
We would like the government to address this issue very seriously and give Kenyans a long-lasting solution.
Ukitaka bei ya unga ipunguzwe, nunua mahindi mingi kutoka kwa wakulima, jaza hayo mahindi kwa maduka, hakikisha kwa masoko Kenya mzima, hakikisha mahindi yamepatikana kwa bei nafuu, basi.
The bill also proposes to introduce the Sukuk bond, an Islamic financial arrangement that authorizes the National Treasury Board to float a bond from Islamic states. Stephen Leteau, JKL.
Let's hope that fast-track bill gets passed real soon. And speaking of fast-track, this news broadcast being fast-tracked now. We're going to take a quick break, come back, talk more about business, sports, and then what you all have been waiting for, the best political tag team on TV, Dr. PLO Lumumba, Barack Muluka, both of them in the house. So many questions to ask, so many points to talk about. We're going to be tackling all that today. I know you have a lot to say as well. We are asking you the question, if the presidential election were held today, who would you vote for? Remember, you have a choice of 18 if you can remember them. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. By the way, SMS number is 22422. You can tweet us at It's PLO Lumumba, at Barack M, at Koinange Jeff, and of course, at Citizen TV Kenya. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back. Plenty more ahead. Don't go away. Back in a moment.